Now, I'm not even gonna lie, I've had this specific video just saved up in my thumbnails folder since like late July of last year, and I literally completely forgot that I had it until literally this exact New Year's. So I was like, yeah, let me get cleared out with a lot of the thumbnails and a lot of the video ideas that I've already had for like the last like 6 months, just plus, and start getting these videos out just so you guys have some content that I actively did enjoy, just never got to posting. So we're gonna kind of start running that back at the beginning of this year. So if you guys do enjoy it, you know what to do. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Comics, and today we're gonna be talking about a topic that really brings two of the greatest icons in the superhero history right together: Captain America and Superman. They're from different universes, obviously, but their ideals, actions, and unshakable dedication to doing what's right really just make them stand out in such a way that it really just shows that they truly are the embodiment of true heroism. Honestly, by the end of this video, you'll probably see why these two are the ultimate benchmarks for what it means to be a hero and what it means, the fact that not many people can actually live up to the standard that these two have set so heavily. But with all that said and done, if you guys do enjoy this, make sure, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you guys can get caught up with all the latest videos. If you guys can't automatically tell, I am still sick as ever living anything, but I do want to get these videos out for you, so do not mind the voice. But with all that being said, let's actually get into this specific topic. To understand why Captain America and Superman are the epitome of heroism, we have to start off with their origins. Superman debuted in Action Comics 1 in 1938. A survivor of a doomed planet, raised by a humble, Kansas farmers. We have all loved Ma and Pa Kent. That's just classic and everything else. And his upbringing instilled him with kindness, justice, and this entire means and just wanting to serving others. Captain America, obviously, on the other hand, made his first appearance in Captain America Comics #1 in 1941, and Steve Rogers obviously started off as a frail young man who, despite his physical limitations, refused to stand down while tyranny spread across the entirety of the globe. And their origins immediately set them apart as heroes who didn't seek the power for, personal gain or for the abilities to, be used for whatever specific reasons, but they wanted to use their abilities automatically to help those in need, to help the people that actively truly needed it, and without anything wanting for themselves or without trying to make a cash grab or just have ulterior motives. They honestly just wanted to help people. From Krypton to Brooklyn, these two characters really just teach us that heroism starts with selflessness and a strong moral compass that these two have been having for the entire time that we've known them in the entirety of the comic book world. When talking about either one of these specific heroes, we obviously automatically have to start off by talking about the two things that really set them apart from anyone in their entire universes, or more specifically, that really give them their name and kind of give them their branding. The symbol that is more noticeable to them and like by them than anything else about their entire being, and that anybody would recognize almost instantly. And then that's talking about both Captain America's shield and Superman's crest. These are more than just iconic visuals. They're literal symbols of hope and protection for anybody who has ever even thought about living in either one of their worlds. Superman's S stands for hope, Krypton, remember? And his presence is often, lifting the spirits of humanity and giving something for humanity specifically to aspire towards. Captain America's shield, like just really resembles and like really gives the full feeling to the American flag. It represents, the dedication of freedom, justice, and the entire, American dream. And whether, standing against the Nazis or supervillains, his shield has literally been the, both literal and figurative defense for the innocent. These symbols really just elevate these characters beyond their physical might, reminding us that their true power comes from the ideals that they fight for. These characters are so well known in their entire worlds that even if you don't know exactly, who all of the big name heroes are, Captain America, Superman, are all heroes that you either, no matter what, have to just know the name of because of the fact of, well, they are them, either obviously most popular, but they are the, righteous. They are the people that help. They are the people that are doing the right thing. They are the, legends, the living legends of the entire world. And they have been doing this for obviously an extremely long time either way. But they just have such a very big connection to the entire world that not knowing them would be almost impossible, especially when they can literally lead anybody in the entire world, no matter where they are, because it is one of their most defining traits. Captain America and Superman are basically both built off leadership. Both do not, lead through words, but specifically through actions. And while technically neither one of them is the leader of their respective teams, we all know that when it comes to like leading specifically in combat or leading through specific means, Captain America and Superman both are the best people to lead in very specific circumstances, and Steve more so in a broad sense, but Clark more so, in a couple other senses. Steve Rogers steps into, the battle alongside his team specifically, showing the courage to fight for what's right no matter what. Like, no matter even when the odds are stacked completely against you, Steve is always right there. He's always the person that's like, okay, I can do this all day. I don't care if you're 10 times stronger than me, 100 times stronger than me, a million times stronger than me. It doesn't matter. I can come here. I am here to protect anybody that I can, to protect the people that can't protect themselves. And I will stay as long as I can still standing. And even if I'm not standing, I'll get back up. Superman's, on the other hand, obviously not going to usually face that problem. So his leadership actively shines in the moments where his restraint and compassion are needed to guide others, proving that sometimes the greatness and strength isn't being bruteful, strengthful, or whatever, but it's knowing when not to fight instead of knowing when to brutally punch something to the ground. Their leadership quite literally inspires other heroes and everyday people, providing that heroism that isn't just about commanding others, but serving as an example to the greater public, the greater senses of everybody else that's always constantly watching you. You know, the moral compass of the entire world. You kind of have to have an actual moral compass on yourself. Like, the modern world is rarely, black and white. And yet, Superman and Captain America both very well navigate the complex situations with a very unwavering clarity. In Civil War 2006 specifically, Captain America refuses to compromise on his values despite overwhelming opposition, fighting for individual freedom against, government oversight. And similarly, Superman conflicts, often usually center around, balancing his godlike powers or his responsibility with protecting family, as seen in for all of the seasons and Kingdom Come, some of the best comics out there, for Superman. But the ability to stay true to their principles, even when it's not the easiest path, really makes them true paragons of moral integrity. We know that Superman has to deal with, constant conflicts about, oh, people want to know who I am. People want to know this. People want to know that. But he obviously knows how to balance that and doesn't really want to share his entire identity to protect, the people that he cares about. Steve obviously doesn't have that problem, but having to deal with a specific oversight is not something that he really wants to deal with, even if it is for America or whatever. They both understand that there's going to be conflicts no matter what, and you have to deal with them in the best way that you possibly can, even if it, causes a little problems. But that's honestly the name of the game when you're a hero. Because, as everyone knows, heroism often comes with sacrifice. No two characters demonstrate this obviously more and better than Captain America and Superman. Steve Rogers quite literally sacrificed his personal happiness, enduring loneliness, isolation after waking up in a world where he no longer recognizes. There is no literal bigger sacrifice than spending 70 years in basically encapsulated just to wake up and everyone that you loved, everything that you've ever known is completely wiped away and you have to basically start anew years in the future. And Superman obviously has a very similar kind of situation. His parents, his entire world, and everything is basically gone. He's living in his own specific kind of way, his own specific kind of way, but in other ways, Superman, in literal countless storylines, sacrifices his chance for a normal life to be Earth's protector, to be Earth's protector. Their willingness to put the needs of others before anybody else's, actual, things. Like, they put the needs of anybody else before their own desires, really just highlights the fact that at the true core of their entire self, it's heroism. It's selflessness, something not many people can actively account and actively attribute to. Like, we know that there are so many other heroes, so many other kinds of people that do the hero thing for the clout, the fame, the money, or whatever kind of unjust reasons that are actively doing it. Obviously, a lot of people do it for, the good reasons of actively trying to be a hero, but that isn't everybody. And not everybody is willing to be so stand fast on their principles as somebody like Captain America or Superman. Like, in either one of their universes, or even any specific universe in comics, entire history, we know that not every hero and not a lot of heroes are going to go to the lengths that they do in terms of wanting to protect and be honestly true, genuine people. Most people actively have their own selfish desires that at some point will trump anything that comes to relating to being a hero. And obviously we have examples like Tony Stark, which obviously, has his own specific standpoints on that, but they're the biggest true actual heroes that anybody could think of, which just really is a good reason why everybody loves them so much, and honestly more hilarious reasons for some of the movies that came out specifically on Superman's end, because it just changed his character and ruined it in some ways. I like Henry Cavill and I absolutely love, him as an actor and as a human being, but the Superman was very lacking just because of that specific reason. Because of the reason that, their willingness to protect everybody, which he still has, is more kind of feeling like, oh yeah, I'm a god among men. Let me just play with my peasants or whatever. Like, more feeling like he's just not that Clark Kent down to earth person, but more that, oh yeah, I'm him. I'm that kind of person type of feeling, which I didn't enjoy. Because the truth is, while both of them are obviously, meant to seem larger than life, in the terms of being larger than life figures, their stories often are meant to symbolize and, actively humanize them. Superman's alter ego, Clark Kent, struggles with the feelings of alienization and a desire to fit in. Captain America grapples with accepting the modern world that often, feels at odds with the values that he grew up in. And please, no one make the racist joke in the comments. That's so old, and come up with something a little new, because I already expect it. But with all of the, Zack Snyder movies and the Justice League on that end, we never got that true feeling that, Clark Kent is the person that is, an actual human being that exists in someone like Superman. That entire kind of persona, that entire kind of feeling just really fizzled out and kind of just never went anywhere, which I didn't, as I said, didn't enjoy. The vulnerabilities of these characters that was basically so far gone in the Zack Snyder movies are what's supposed to make them feel relatable. Remind us that being a hero isn't about being perfect or striving to do what's right, despite personal struggles. It's about, all of that and not about, oh yeah, power, about showing off, showboating. And obviously, Zack Snyder didn't really enjoy specifically actual things about the character. And hence why I'm obviously really excited for the new Superman movie. And if you guys want me to make an actual video just talking about the trailer and anything, all of my opinions, let me know. But that's going to come after I feel a lot better. My voice has gone back to, normal. But besides that, like, there are so many things that you could really talk about with, these two specific characters. The fact that, they're so similar, which obviously they are, which this video could also be basically talking about the fact that they really just are so similar. But in terms of like something else that I really just want to talk about, it's the fact that their greatest villains honestly just truly reflect their ideals. Because of the fact that, villains of Superman and Captain America often challenge the very ideals that they really stand for, and that just makes them better characters as a whole. Lex Luthor's obsession with power, his disdain for Superman's altruism underscore, and like the Man of Steel's, unwavering belief in the good of humanity, and the fact that obviously he just doesn't like the fact that Superman's an alien. Obviously, meanwhile, with the Red Skull's embodiment of hate and tyranny that stands in direct opposition for everything that Steve Rogers fights for. Like, these villains are actively so phenomenal. I love Lex Luthor. Red Skull is probably one of my more favorite Marvel villains in terms of any general things, right behind a good few, obviously, because I'm not insane. Red Skull's not like gonna be all the way up there, but he still is one of my more favorites in the entire landscape of Marvel as a whole. But the specific villains that we have that actively truly make these characters feel so much more alive and even give them better true feelings of being heroes than anybody else that I could think of, just make them all the more interesting and just give them all the more impact on anything that they specifically do, even when it relates to their own fellow heroes. Because of the fact that Captain America and Superman often serve as, moral compasses for their respective universes. Heroes like Spider-Man and Wonder Woman took them and go to them for guidance. Like, their influence usually often brings the best out in others. For example, in Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers' iconic Avengers Assemble moment really just showcases his leadership and really rallies the entirety of the army of heroes together in a way that is so, chef's kiss beautiful. And obviously, similarly, like Superman's mentorship of the characters like Supergirl and some of the Justice League really cements him in his role as an inspirational figure, which is a real big, true facet of why these characters are just so true heroes, because they truly want to make an impact on the next generation of heroes and make them better in the best ways possible by giving them and teaching them what it means to be a true hero, not to be one that is focused on any other means besides helping people, but one that's actively just truly focused on the love for being a hero, the love for doing everything that they possibly can to help whatever they need without using their powers for any other specific altruistic motives or like incorrect motives, to say correctly. But if you want to do your own, specific deeper dive into their heroism on your own time, I honestly probably would want to give you some must read comics for their specific stories. Obviously, separately for them because they're not in the same world. But for Superman, I would easily suggest, All Star Superman, which probably would be a good read to have anyway, specifically with the new James Gunn movie coming out. Superman for all the seasons and Kingdom Come. Just extremely amazing comics. And if you guys want me to talk about any of them, let me know. And for Cap, obviously, The Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Captain America, Man Out of Time. They're just also, extremely interesting, and always would suggest reading more comics anyways, because what is this channel about if not comics? And these comics honestly just highlight the essence of what it takes for these two characters to really endure and inspire anything. Because at the core, Captain America and Superman just really remind us that heroism is about more than powers and abilities. It's about values and standing up for what's right even when it's hard. It's about protecting the vulnerable, inspiring others, and never losing hope in the face of adversity. But with all that said, thanks for watching Rex Talk Comics. I hope that you enjoyed this deep dive into, the parallels between Captain America and Superman. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Obviously, my voice is in absolute shambles right now, if you haven't just been able to tell by this entire long video already. So, hence why I'm not posting as constant as I would have liked to, but let me know down in the comments, who do you think best embodies, true heroism and why? And until next time, keep reading, keep dreaming, and keep celebrating the heroes who inspire us all. Peace.